Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful individual. Today, I would like to speak about cherishing and nourishing our connection to the true, the good, and the beautiful. By every day cultivating and immersing yourself in what is true, good, beautiful, what is intelligent and has a certain feeling of comprehension and understanding to it. Intelligent is, after all, something living, something cosmic, and also something that is very much so divine if we allow ourselves to lift it up towards beautiful, truthful, and nurturing things. By focusing on these types of, different feelings is more like it. Because you can't have empty, cold, abstract pictures of something and expect to have warm feelings about them without having an interest in them. If you think, for example, about mathematics, or you are using your mind to contemplate a problem without any kind of emotional attachment to it, you are tiring yourself out because you are only using your head forces, in a sense. If you interest yourself in what you're thinking about, let's say you think about a puppy, or a beautiful flower, or a rose, or a bird, any things that stirs your emotions, you will feel energized, you will feel uplifted. The difference between only thinking purely with thoughts and putting emotions into your thinking makes all the difference. Of course, you are utilizing your will to do these things because you sit and connect yourself present to this present moment and to what you have within you, your emotional body or your sentient soul and your mind soul and your consciousness soul. And these three is in relation to our thinking and perceiving faculties. So it is about getting to know ourselves and what we are capable of and what our faculties are. Because when you do, you can practice and train and build yourself up towards, perceiving the spiritual with your whole being. It is all about that trust too. Knowing that you have faith in higher powers, love for all of mankind, and for the path for higher powers. And, hope in higher developments for the future. And by sticking to that, we cultivate what is needed for the future. This takes, of course, time, and cherishing and nourishing is like taking care of a garden. You need to really, watch over it, nurture, and give it the proper attention. When you do, the garden will grow. And I promise you, you will see the difference if you truly show interest in the plants and if you are not. Because when you show interest in the plants, you shine a sun, the Son of Christ on the plants. And they help heal, nourish, and grow these beautiful, beautiful etheric growths we have within us. And it is all about connecting to the right healing plant forces. Of course, we also need to cultivate what our interest in the astral, lifting ourselves up to what is good and beautiful there too, so we can perceive in, appearance what is aesthetically beautiful too. And by working what's true, good, and beautiful into your feelings, you work bodhi into your etheric body. You work love into your love body, more or less. And you do it with your effort and actions and activity. By doing so, you are fighting for this and letting it stick and letting it stay within you as something beautiful. The more you practice something, the more second nature it becomes, the more deeper it becomes into your nature. It is all about the interest in it. The more interest you have, the more you can absorb all of this. So the true, the good, and the beautiful, one can imagine, one can say and believe that it is arbitrary, but in the end, when you cultivate spiritual science and find the proper forces and spiritual powers behind the physical, you truly will find that there are forces that are extremely uncomfortable, chaotic, rowdy, and so not something you want to have in your body constantly. And on the other hand, orderly, disciplined, strong, sturdy, and loving, warm forces within the astral world. And it is all about feeling these things. Healthy or unhealthy forces is a reality. The demons invited disease to this planet because we have gone so far deep into development that the lower forces is starting to, well, slowly, they are trying to grab hold of man's lower nature. Their highest nature is man's lowest nature, you see. So they are trying to grab a hold of our lowest to connect their highest to that. It is scary, I know. That is why we need to have the Christ to cultivate and strengthen our resolve for morality. It is certain, it is below the earth, you know. You do have both the earthly, the heavenly, and the sub-earthly. I am not overly fond of speaking about the sub-earthly because it is, you clairvoyantly observe it yourself. It is very, very chaotic and hard and dense to go down into. Of course, one will have to do it if we are to understand it and to feel it and to come to terms with it. Master it so that you can balance it within yourself. We cannot run away from it. It is everywhere in this world. It is within you. So it is about mastering it within you so that you can handle it from outside. And that is meditation, breathing, to being able to hold your body stable while you are consciously and actively using your thinking and feeling faculties in the right direction, allowing you to open your whole being to divine inspiration, allowing them to work upon your being so that we can form and shape the astral organs that will be physical in the future. It requires practice and meditation and stability and repetitions and interest and resolve. Devotion and reverence do also help, and gratitude for what you have in the moment always snaps you back here. And sorry, I forgot myself in a moment. Ahriman had a hold of me for a sec there. Because when you are grateful for what you have right now, counteracts Ahriman's fear. He is the bringer of death, fear, lack, and spite after all. So it's important to be grateful for what you have and grateful for all around you and for the human beings that you have met and all experience, everything. And you will counteract that feeling of lack and feeling of spite and, well, coldness, distance, you know. Connecting instead soul and spirit to the warmth that is all around you. And we constantly do connect to each other in the spiritual world and teach each other and learn from each other. And I personally, more or less every day, all day, of course, with certain rooms for breathing and for resting, of course, practice walking, talking to myself, and imagine myself speaking to a big crowd, speaking to individuals, speaking to higher beings. And when you do it, it becomes kind of reality, you know, where you actually are teaching and studying and learning from higher beings and interacting with powers that allows you to grow and develop beyond only this earthly alone. So they assist us with teaching and growing the future organs. We cannot do it by ourselves. That is a given because, well, the higher powers have the organs we do not yet have, so they give us that seed by showing it to us in a sense. So they flow through us and impress their spiritual organs on our astral realm. It's the best way of describing it. And we have to put the right spiritual forces into these organs so that we can grow and stabilize and habitualize, making it second nature more or less. So connecting to this feeling, to the bodhi, the true, the beautiful and the good, you can start to connect down into your physical body, where you can start to feel home in your physical body, where your physical body is your friend, where you can trust your physical body. Same with your thinking and your feeling. You do not allow in beings that are of lower nature. You stand strong within the Christ and Michael, Father, the Holy Spirit, and they are not very fond of having in brutal and negative and judgmental thoughts and feelings in their temple, That is how I operate, at least, and I try to aspire to operate constantly 24 hours a day. And if I can achieve that, I would be very much content with that job, but then I will find something else again. Remember, eternal student, eternal development. We are always going to be in activity. Except when we are in a cosmic night, of course. Then everyone is kind of asleep, including the divine. But we always come back to life again. That is the thing. There is always, the universe is always in constant development. So, to get a feel for that the whole of the universe is in a living motion brings about the joy in the heart, because you know what brings it into motion and form and into structure is the higher hierarchy. And they watch over us and guide us with their mighty hand. And it is about getting a feel and also have the freedom to choose to follow along on these promptings. It is your freedom after all. You can choose to refuse to believe in these things. You can choose to deny them. You can choose to follow along on a completely different interest. And that is okay. You will come to find your own path in life and the understanding of the cosmos as you yourself are meant to do. But those that are listening to me have already a path, I'm pretty sure of. And you are drawn inexplicably to the videos because destiny and karma, It is all about, I do the same. I am often inexplicably drawn to certain videos and certain topics and certain people and so on that brings about new impulses and changes and inspirations to my life. Be it uncomfortable or enjoyable, they always are of help in the end when you choose to take in the extract of lessons from it. It is all about being objective and loving about it and seeing that higher power doesn't want to punish us. They want us to grow, learn, develop. And, they want us to do so by freedom, by our own choice. Choosing to go and study for ourselves in freedom. That is what they stand for. But we have to choose to lift ourselves up to them. They will not come down to us in the physical. Never again. We are meant to spiritualize the physical and let the physical fall away so we can live from the etheric, from the life force of our being, where the Christ resides. So that is why we are constantly, that is what I meant with the video I put out yesterday, with we're dragging the body along, the physical substance of these things, what cannot be developed anymore, what refuses to spiritualize. That means anything that dries up, becomes materialistic, becomes completely and utterly void of love and warmth, is what will fall away to the 8th sphere, where Surat is king in the abyss. Of course, at the end of the apocalypse and our development, when Philadelphia and the city of brotherly and sisterly love is shining through in the etheric world. So it is about connecting to what we are about to, embark upon in our development, and not, well, let the development pass you by. Connect to it now. You are here in the development now. Distracting yourself removes you away. That's Lucifer's doing. He wants you to be distracted. And Ariman wants you to not believe in any of this and just say this is bonkers and talk shit about it. So be in the middle, be meticulous, be intelligent, but also be loving, artistic. You see, spiritual science, I have written it in description before, and I also recommend reading my descriptions because I often get very much channeling through a lot of information there too. But the spiritual science is a combination, a syncretic science based on science, spirituality, religion, and arts, and it is very much a living thing, a living organism. It's almost like a human being, you see. So you can see it from many different perspectives, like taking a picture of a tree from 4 different directions. Then you see the whole tree and not only from one side, you see. So, and I will leave you with this. So connect to the love, and we will connect together in the etheric world where the Christ resides. He is this earth, and the love is real. So connect with your heart to every single sibling on this earth, and we will over time uplift and transform and become again connected to the divine world with our consciousness, consciously, not in an ecstatic trance, not in a sleeping haze, but consciously in the spiritual world with our loving heart. But we are not allowed in there as long as we have evil, you see. So purify and transform and believe in the good, true, the good, and the beautiful, and you won't be disappointed. Bless you, may Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, the higher hierarchy, ancient masters of old, ancestors from every incarnation, bless, protect, guide, and love you on your magnificent, with wonderful path to your awakening and transformation and connection to the divine. Love you. Thank you. Goodbye.